Well, we are out in the goldfields today and back at our favourite spot where we found coins and tokens and whatever else, buttons galore. Anyway, I had an 1112 here, having another look around and seeing what signals I've missed. Had 1112 and I picked up a little rusty spike and I thought, that'll be it. But I swung over again and there's still a 12 here and it's in this clod. Look at that. Is that a ring or am I just imagining something? Looks rather ringly. It's a bit squashed if it is. I'll just see if I can balance the phone here if I can, so I can get two hands on the job. And we'll just see if we can pop this out. And it is a ring, a squashed ring. The question is there still a stone in it, or has it gone west? I think it's gone west. So whatever was in there is no longer there, but nonetheless it is still a ring. So anyway, thought I could see something written there, but I don't know. Might have been just the dirt. Anyway, so that is rather cool to find an old ring. Even cooler if it had the stone still in it, but anyway, that didn't look like it just dropped out because there was dirt caked in there, so I'd say it's been missing for a while. Anyway, we'll clean that up better at home, but it's not a bad old ring to find. So we'll add that one to the ring collection. Out of this hole we had, apart from some nice big chunks of black glass everywhere, we also had a button. So looks rather thin. So I'll give that a clean, and if there's anything on it I'll bring you back, otherwise we'll just keep going. I cleaned up that button and there wasn't anything on it, it was just a plain one, so started putting the stuff back in the hole and spied something in this little clod which looks like another button. So there was two in this hole. That one's a little bit different design, but it's got a little bit of pattern to it. The other one was just very plain. So it's got a little dimply effect in the middle there. Anyway, another button, so two of them here. Two buttons there, and not far away had a 14 and got this one, just a bit of a smaller button, but looks pretty pitted and old, but anyway, looks pretty plain. So anyway, three buttons in this area. Just underneath me is where I got all the buttons, and I had an 11 here, not far away, and we've got that. Looks something like a little key lock cover or something. Don't know. Anyway, I'll have a look at it. But anyway, it's interesting. There's a little puddle of signals here that I've missed. Just shows. Probably not going to clean up all that well. Don't know what that is exactly. Some sort of little brass thing with an iron spike through it. Anyway, a little mystery item. Same spot, and coming in at 4, we've got another little thin old button. Don't think there's anything on it. I think it's a bit squashed, that one. Anyway, so certainly onto a little pile of buttons here. And another little one. That one rang up at a sort of 16, so a bit higher, but still looks like the same sort of buttons, just plain ones, one of the smaller type of ones. Well, found a couple more buttons, but and a little brass bung off something. But we've got a nice number here, so I thought I'd turn you on just in case it's something exciting. We're right up in the high 20s, touching 30. Deeper than the ping pong go, so I'll just make sure I've got the right spot. I reckon it's about there, so I'll dig nice and wide. Get a bit of dirt off the top and see what we've got. Haven't seen anything, but we'll see. I reckon it'll still be down here. Still in our hole here, so get over to this other side, get it wide again, and have a go at it. Bit of glass there. I've got a feeling it's still going to be in the hole. Now I'll get the pinpoint it, if I can find it. Look at that, it's a nice little small spot. It's not too big, whatever it is. So I'll just turn that down a bit. Still a little way. But she's right there somewhere. So, I reckon another big one will do it. And I'm sort of a bit more excited now because it's in a nice little pinpointed area. Not something big like a can or something. Don't know if we've got down far enough yet, but I've loosened something. Of course, I am still quite prepared to be disappointed and just be something not interesting, but anyway. Whatever it is, it's been in here a while. Can't be too far away. Surely. Let's have another look. May even got it. I think we have. It's got to be in here somewhere. Hang on. Now, what have we got here? It does look round, the part I can see. It does look round. In fact, it looks like a penny, I'd say. So, we've got a coin for the day, which is good. And I'll give it a quick clean and be back. That was successful. Well, we haven't got much sunlight today, which is going to make this part a bit harder, but you can just see a head there, and I'm a bit rusty on the earlier monarchs because I don't find them all that often. Anyway, it is a pre-Victorian coin, I would say. One of the earlier kings. But apart from his head there, which you can just see, I cannot really make out anything else here. So I'd say that's a pretty worn old penny from pre-Victorian era. But anyway, it is still a jolly nice find. So I reckon, as worn as it is, we will be able to identify the monarch. But I can't remember off the top of my head now, so I'll leave that for the finish of the video, and we'll probably have a name to put to it and a date range. But anyway, pre-Victorian. Anyway, that is a pretty nice old piece of history. So, we'll keep going before we run out of time and see if there's anything else we've missed. Well, we've got another nice signal here. Well, it's a little bit jumpy, but it's beautiful numbers. And we can get across on it, so that's always a good sign. It has started raining a bit right now. In fact, it's slippy, so it's maybe our last hole. It starts pouring on us. I'll have to run to the car. Anyway, let's see if we can get this one out at least. Hopefully it's not just a, I don't know what, but something bringing up high. Try and get all this dirt out of here. And the rain's coming down. Still down our hole here somewhere. Either a bit deeper or hang on, I've just seen something here sticking up there. Looks rather coin-like, doesn't it? So I reckon that could really well be maybe, but we are getting rained on, so I'm going to keep you in suspense and leave that one uncleaned, and I'll have a quick search around here before I pull this in to make sure there's nothing else, but I think we're in for a bit of a wet end to our day, so I might have to pull the pin. We are back out again and it's not raining today, and I'm back in the area where I've found the token. Well, not quite there yet, it's up here a bit further, but I've sort of got a bit distracted on the way. Over here somewhere is where I found the George III shilling that time and other coins around here. So I've been digging a few little bits and pieces of brass and bottle caps and stuff. I've got a nice signal here. I've got it out, but I don't know what it is yet. 2122. So I've just dug a little piece of aluminium wire behind me, and I'm going to see what we've got here. Hopefully it's not just a bottle cap. But it does look kind of good so far, what I'm seeing. It does look like a coin, and it is. So, looks like it might have been a little bit beat up. But anyway, we'll give that one a clean, and we will come back. That's cool. So I wasn't sure if I was going to find anything today, because you know the finds are a bit far and few between, but poking around in under all these bushy bits and pieces, we're finding a few signals that I've missed in my previous hunts. So without further ado, we'll give that a clean and see what we've got. Well, it is a Commonwealth penny, and I do believe it's 1914. I think that's what I'm seeing there, which should be George V, which it is. You can just see him there. But it's had a little bit of a beating at some stage. So anyway, it's had a couple of clouts. Anyway, 1914 halfpenny. So that is pretty good. And we'll keep going while we've got time and see if anything else turns up. Just there's where I got the halfpenny. And I had a sort of 17 under this other group of coffee bush. And we have got a button by the looks. It's a nice deep bold one. I don't know if it's going to have anything on it. It doesn't look promising, but see if I can get a bit more dirt off it. Now, I think that one is just a plain one by the looks. Can't see anything on that. Anyway, it's a nice solid chunky one. So I'll keep going on this. Very jittery sort of 29 here. It's hard to get both ways, but sort of had a spot, so I started digging and got glass coming up and rocks and bits of chunky porcelain and stuff. But anyway, I think what our 29 was, I haven't checked the hole again, it was this rusty chunk, which I would say is a piece of a pickaxe, or a pick of some sort, and the handle would have went in there. Anyway, it's a bit sort of almost unrecognisable now, but I think that's what that is. There's a half of a pick, so a bit of a miner's relic. Between two trees here, I've got a rather exciting sounding signal. You know, up into the 30s. really sharp and clear, but it's not bad. So I'm going to see what it is. See if we've got it, but I think it'll be down a bit further. And it is. Hope it's not just a rusty bit of whatever that is. That would be disappointing. Let's see if we've still... I think we've still got something here. That might be why the signal's a bit bad, because there's rust down here. There's something there, whether it's more rust I don't know, but there is one way to find out. I'll just sink a shovel in a bit more and get past the rocks here, or roots, or whatever it is. Anyway. Got a feeling we haven't got it yet. Actually, I just saw, just get rid of this detector so it doesn't dip at me, but I just saw something down here, and it does look rather round, doesn't it? And rather big. I'd nearly say that is a jolly old token. I would say it's yeah, quite big. So I'll turn you off, I think, get two hands on the job, and we'll give that one a clean and see what we've got. So that was a case of a bit of a fluttery signal, but it had some iron in here and it was well worth digging, as you can see. So anyway, we'll give that one a clean and we will be back. Well, as far as I can read, and I won't try and read the address up the top there, but it's R. Parker, Ironmonger, Geelong. I think it's an R, but something Parker. Ironmonger of Geelong. And on the back, or the front, or whatever side it is, we have the well, the lady holding the scales and such, and it says Australia up the top. But as far as I can see, there's no date there, unless I'm missing it somewhere. But anyway, no doubt we'll be able to date it by looking it up. But anyway, that is cool. So that is a penny token from Geelong, and I have not got one of those, I don't think. So that is rather nice. So anyway, we'll keep going and see what else we can find, but it's definitely worth coming back to sites when you're fresh and, you know, haven't been in the sun for hours looking, and you do find stuff that you've missed, because you do get a little bit less thorough when you know, it's the end of the day, or you've been out a few hours or you've been to the site again and again, and you sort of think you've got everything, but you come back fresh, and always amazing what else you can pull up for a little bit more thoroughness. Anyway, that's nice. Well, I had another dodgy high number here, so you could only get it one way, absolutely nothing the other way, and even this way it was sort of not really happy to talk to me. Anyway, I dug and I dug and I dug, and it sort of, I lost it altogether, so I thought I've moved it. Anyway, I found it with the pinpointer, and I dug it out, flipped him up, and we've got him there. And believe it or not, it is a coin. And I do believe it is silver and sixpence sized. So I'm glad I didn't scratch him fossicking around there for him. So to get the water back where it is, I should be able to just hold the phone like that. Get the water. We should get into the sun, but I'll get it wet first. See how this one cleans up. I reckon that's Queen Victoria appearing there. So I'll just move out turn under the sun a bit here. Way up. We haven't found one of these old sixpences for a while. I believe that says 18. Is it 51? I think it is 51. So that's a rather earlier one. I thought it was 81, but it's a bit hard to see. Which I'll confirm later, but it looks like a 5 to me in this sort of bad lighting, but I don't know. I'm going to call it 51, but I'm not quite sure. I'll just draw it off a bit and have another look. Yeah, I reckon it is 1851 sixpence with Queen Victoria on the back there. So that is rather brilliant. And just here is 2 trees where I found the token. So, you know, I found somewhere around here I found a couple of George Holloway tokens and another one somewhere around here. So, and the last time I was here when it started raining, I found that other halfpenny token somewhere out there. So we're doing all right for our iffy sort of signals we're digging. It's been well worth it. Anyway, 1851. I'll keep going and see what other iffy signals produce the goods. I had a 7 down here and it wasn't shaky, it was a good solid 7. And we got that out, which I've cleaned it up. Don't know what it is. It's got some patterns on there. A couple of holes either side. This might be a bit better. And it's like a little cap off something. So I don't really know what that is, but anyway. Certainly not just a piece of junk, which I thought it was when I first pulled it up. So anyway, don't know what it is, but it's got a little bit of patterning and detail to it. This is our very worn penny we found, and I have been able to identify the monarch, and it is a George III penny. Now the date range for these is 1804 to 1806, so a nice tight little date range there. So this coin is somewhere in that range. So a nice early piece of history. This is the coin we found just before the rain hit us and we didn't clean it up. And it is a Hyde and de Carle token, and grocers and winemakers of Elizabeth Street, Melbourne, and the date for this one is 1858. Our rather battered Commonwealth halfpenny, dated at 1914. And this is our bigger penny token we found. On this side we just have Australia with the lady with the scales. And on the other side, Moorabool Street, Geelong, R. Parker, Ironmonger. And this coin dates at 1853. And lastly, our silver, which is a 1851 sixpence.